and then they arrested him.
Oh, well, I'm glad they arrested him naked with two 12-year-olds in a bedroom.
And he reportedly has 42 previous arrests in L.A. County. Now, I would like to hear LAPD's side of the story about why they didn't or thought they couldn't arrest him. And maybe that's not exactly what happened or what was said, but it appears pretty clear some guys running around a neighborhood even after the cops came and had an opportunity to take him away.
It's not often that you hear a sheriff talk about one of his correctional officers and using the word depraved, but that's how Assistant Sheriff Steve McComas is describing this former Fresno County Jail correctional officer who's accused of having sex with an inmate. Her name's Tina Gonzalez. I looked her up, you guys. She's gorgeous. I don't know what her deal is, why she needed to do this, but she's been given a 7-month term in the jail because, according to her boss, she cut a hole in her uniform to make it easier to have sex with this particular inmate, and she would have sex with this inmate through the hole in her uniform in front of 11 other inmates. Then, on top of that, she also supplied the inmates with razors, which they say that's a big no-no because he could use that as a weapon.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Is her middle name Glory?
Oh, no.
Move on. Go, Wayne, go.
Hey, the LAPD officer who was facing disciplinary action for sharing the photo of George Floyd with the words, "You take my breath away," in a Valentine format has been cleared of any wrongdoing. There will be no punishment. The officer chose to have his case heard by a 3-civilian board. You have an option. You can get 3 civilians, or you can get a disciplinary board where it's 2 officers of captain or higher rank and 1 civilian. They went with 3 civilians, and they found that the officer didn't do anything wrong. And if what his lawyer is saying is true, he didn't, because he only shared the image once with his supervisor to report it.
Also, guilty of bad taste. I mean, clearly.
Well,
but bad taste is not a disciplinary action. It shouldn't be taken. I mean, at what point? But you're right. That I think
he's not even guilty of bad taste. He saw the thing and said, "This is terrible," and gave it to his supervisor. That's what the lawyer said. So we have to infer from the fact that 3 civilians all said he didn't do anything wrong.
So within context, it wasn't a light, sort of fun text.
It is what you would hope an officer would do if they came across that image floating around. And remember, Michael Moore said he referred the officer to the panel and said, "I want him fired." Well, then it turns out all he did was say, "Hey, boss, look at this, what's going around, this is terrible."
And it took my breath away. And again, it depends on context.
All right, sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson has been left off the U.S. Olympic track team. Of course, as you remember, she tested positive for marijuana. She admitted to it. It wasn't like she was trying to hide it. She did admit to it. But according to the USATF, they said it was incredibly sympathetic toward her extenuating circumstances, and they agree that international rules regarding marijuana should be reevaluated, but they also have to maintain fairness for athletes who attempted to get on the team, I guess. And I thought this was the weirdest part, though. They asked her agent, how'd she react or whatever. He said, "We haven't spoken about it. It was actually not a topic we focused on."
Oh, please.
BS.
Please. Being tossed off the Olympic team. Didn't even mention it.
And the agent calls and goes, "So, hey, what'd you have for lunch? How you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. Now, my question is there any leeway for the Olympic Committee to give her a benefit of the doubt, or is it just absolute and they have no choice?
It's the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency,
right?
Which sounds like it might be part of the government, but it's not. It's a private entity, and nobody can, they do whatever they want. They have whatever rules they want. Hopefully, this will be a wake-up call to completely reevaluate the rules about marijuana. The major sports leagues have all either eliminated it as a drug of abuse, or relaxed the punishments if you're found using it. I mean, everybody's getting up to speed on the fact that it does not need to be this demon drug, except U.S. Anti-Doping Agency still has those rules. And the thing with her, she was disqualified from the 100-meter individual race because she tested positive. It invalidated her qualifying run. And there's some confusion whether she did petition to be allowed to run as part of the relay team, and they said no, or that she did not petition in the first place.
Because she is eligible for the relay team because the 30-day suspension ends before the race.
Right. So it's not clear.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not 100% clear why she's not on the relay team.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back. Jennifer.
President Biden's launching a door-to-door campaign this summer to try and get more people vaccinated from COVID-19, against COVID-19. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks since that 12-story condo building collapsed in Florida. Rescuers have not pulled anyone alive out since right after it happened. And officials with Caesars Palace in Vegas have announced plans for a multi-million-dollar facelift. They say it's time to update the resort. It was built in 1966. We've got a crash on the 60 we'll look at with the Kfi in the Sky next.
One of the things about Southern California and why so many people live here is, we love the weather. Our houses are all made out of wood, and that is the perfect living arrangements for termites. They love the weather, and they certainly love your house for lunch. So how do you know if you even have termites? There's a good chance you don't. So let me suggest calling Pacific Coast Termite. They'll come out for a free inspection. It costs you nothing. And they'll tell you if you have or don't have termites. If you don't, that's great news. Okay, we'll see you next year. If you do, you're catching them early days. And they treat the termites without tenting. And I've tented before. Oh, trust me, you don't want to go there double bagging your food and pet sitters and hotels, etc. You can actually be home while they deal with the termites. If you know you have termites, that's an easy phone call to make. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com, 800-PACIFIC.
Pacific Coast Termite, kills termites. The clean, friendly way.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today. As a range from the upper 60s at the beaches, but we could be well over 100 inland. This report is brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. Let's take a look at this crash on the 60.
It's in Boyle Heights on the westbound 60 just past Indiana Street. Two-car crash. They made it to the right shoulder, but fire department's on the way. Apparently this is an injury crash, so traffic starting to gather at Gage. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superwoman, Jeff Baugh talking about the 101.
Yeah, a lot of gathering going on in San Fernando Valley, that's for sure. But if you're on schedule, I think you're going to say that. Generally, things are okay. We'll start with the 101 coming out of the West San Fernando Valley. Still in good shape. Gets a little slow at about Balboa going to the 405. I think you'll agree. That's terrific, actually, for this hour. From the 405 over to the 170, it's real good and continues that way on the 134 all the way into Glendale. Now, the 170, the volume went up really fast here this morning. I was a little concerned. Might be something down at the interchange, but there isn't. No Caltrans works, just a lot of traffic. Starts a little bit south of Victory already, going down to the interchange. And finally, South 5, coming away from the 118, it's a little slowed down to about Osborne. After that, though, things will improve, even down through Burbank. Injured in an accident, visit Superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
In Long Beach, 91 eastbound at the 710. Report of a stalled car here, second lane from the left. Now, it's almost been hit a few times, according to the report, so do use caution. 91 eastbound, right at the 710. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's 4th of July sale has been extended for a limited time. Shop and save up to $500 on top-rated mattress brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base with your $999 mattress purchase.
Wondering if you're paying too much for auto insurance? It's easy to find out at AAA.com/insurance. You could save an average of $537. So stop wondering, start saving. Visit AAA.com/insurance for your free quote.
Hey, it's Conway here, and you're looking to sell your home fast, right? You don't want to deal with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Well, then you need Sunday, SUNDAE.com. Sunday's going to buy your home as is and give you the best possible price. Very flexible timeline, by the way. They can close in as quick as 10 days, but they have the flexibility to close in months. They can give you a $10,000 cash advance when you sell with Sunday, and that can help with moving expenses or anything you need the cash for, right? 0 fees to sell. The price they give you is the price you get. And they're extremely experienced. They've purchased hundreds of homes, just like yours. And they have over 35 years experience. Plus, you've probably seen them everywhere. CNN, Business Insider, CNBC. 5-star reviews everywhere you look online. Let's call Sunday. 800-25-OFFER, 800-25-OFFER, and get a free, no obligation cash offer. Sunday.com. SUNDAE.com.
Now may be the perfect time to buy a home financed by Loan Depot. Loan Depot has over 300 loan products to help you make home ownership a reality. Interest rates are near historic lows. Rates will not stay low forever. So call 866-888-LOAN so one of our thousands of loan officers can help you find the right loan. Call 866-888-LOAN or visit loandepot.com. Loan Depot. Rates are subject to change. Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts in response to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. During our lowest prices of the season, the new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99. Only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Looking for your next investment? Want to cash out of stock market risk and volatility? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's proven real estate development fund. Monthly cash flow payouts of 10% annualized and bonuses to 21% targeted. We strategically locate in lower risk, high demand areas people are moving to. New construction is short on supply. Real estate affords diversification and safety from stock market risk and volatility. We have substantial property assets selling out every month supporting your investment. Our short and long-term strategy provides for steady returns today and major upside targets. Our buildings are socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Dean Sharp here. Nothing disrupts your life, your comfort, even your safety like a power outage. And outages are the new normal. So now is the time to set up your home with an emergency generator from Duffy Power. Duffy is Southern California's generator experts. And with 0% interest financing, emergency power totally affordable. Duffy Power, making sure your life, your comfort, and your safety are not to be interrupted. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power. Pound 250 Duffy Power or on the web at duffypower.com.
Summer's here, it's time to grill and chill. And Stater Brothers Market's full-service meat counter has all the best cuts, quality, and selection. And when you're done grilling, chill with ice-cold drinks, fresh-cut fruit, and dessert. Grill and chill all summer long with Stater Brothers Markets.
57% of Republicans say the pandemic's over and only 4% of Democrats. Are people in reality distortion bubbles? Yeah, separate universes. How could there possibly be a political viewpoint on whether you think the pandemic is over? Aren't they following the science? What's so hard about that? What if the variant breaks through? John and Ken. What if an air conditioner falls on my head?
Weekdays at 2 on KFI.
Wednesday morning, July 7th, and the heat wave hits us today. And we'll see what's going on with the fires right now, although we have some. Nothing crazy is going on, and we'll see what happens with the power grid also. Let's finish up. Handle on the news, Jennifer Jones, Lee, Wayne, and me.
Real quickly, guys, I'm keeping an eye on the shooting of 2 ATF agents and a Chicago police officer who were shot outside a station this morning. Apparently they were doing some sort of undercover surveillance in an unmarked vehicle, but somebody got word of it, and they were shot. Apparently they are, I think, though, in stable condition, and they're just searching for the shooter now.
Of course.
The International Swimming Federation is getting a lot of flack for its decision to not allow certain kinds of swim caps at the Olympics. There is a company in Britain called Soul Cap. They make swimming caps for people who have, if you have dreadlocks, if you have weaves, extensions, braids, if your hair's particularly thick. So these caps are bigger than a normal swim cap. They do not conform tightly to the form of your head. And so this Switzerland-based International Swimming Federation has decreed you cannot wear them. You can imagine the backlash against that decision because there are Olympic athletes who can't wear a normal swimming cap because they're too small for their hair. What, they have to cut off all their hair?
Yeah, I guess they do. I assume.
Well, they say they're going to now rethink it, but I don't think they're going to rethink it in time for this Olympics.
Britney Spears' court-appointed attorney has requested to resign from the conservatorship. You remember, Britney, when she went off in court, she condemned the conservatorship, and she asked a judge to end it. She also talked about the choice of attorney and said she wasn't allowed to choose her attorney. The conservatorship chose it for her. So she was saying, hey, I want to be represented by somebody I picked to represent me.
Now, and the judge wouldn't remove the conservatorship.
No.
So her dad is still a conservator, but everybody around, the management company, the financial management company that worked with her dad, they're gone. Her attorney, I guess her attorney/agent, who's been with her since she's been 13, he's gone.
Oh, the manager, yeah. He said, I'm gone because she hasn't worked in 2.5 years, and it doesn't look like she's going to, so I don't have anything to do. And then now this court-appointed attorney wants out. I mean, the writing's on the wall, isn't it?
I would think so.
The judge is going to have to do something to give her back at least some decision-making power. Oh, a reporter went, the reporter's editor went to jail because the reporter for a newspaper brought in a tape recorder to the courtroom.
Which is a no-no.
It is a no-no, but this is really a little bit excessive because here's what happened. You are allowed to have a recording device under the general rules of this court, but each judge, if they want to be a jerk, they can say no. Okay? So this particular judge has no recording devices. So the reporter's getting ready to cover the trial, and he asks his editor, can I bring the recorder? And the editor's remembering when he was in this courtroom, and he just got confused because he thought you can't bring a cell phone, but he thought you could bring a recorder. So he told the reporter, yes, you can bring the recorder, right? So then the reporter goes in, he's got the thing out in the open, the judge goes, what the hell is that? Big trouble, and of course it's the editor who got the jail time.
Yeah,
because he told the reporter, well, he got 5 days, but he was out the next day, but he doesn't know if he's going to have to go back in. Meanwhile, as you imagine, the press in this town is like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You could just admonish the guy, maybe fine the editor like $20, to make
or a couple $100
put a guy in jail.
Federal court, no recording allowed, right?
That is correct. And in some courts, holy smoke, one of the courtrooms has a sign out front that says, no chewing gum.
Wow.
No, do not go into, I won't name the judge, but don't go into that courtroom chewing gum.
And I let you.
Other judges don't care. This is a very, personal, picky thing.
And then you have the artists come in and draw, the jury and draw. Yeah, I like the ones that do the stick figures.
Those are mine.
Do they?
I can't draw a stick figure.
Do they do like a page and stick figure and another, and then it's a flip book of the witness?
Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a horrible story in Santa Monica that happened over the weekend. There was a couple, they're going into a parking garage, they're getting ready to leave, and they get approached by this 30-year-old guy from Texas who says, I'm going to have sex with your girlfriend before you leave the garage. So the couple manages to fight this guy off. They rush back to their car. They drive down to the bottom of the parking garage. They're trying to get away from the guy, but the guy finds them and starts harassing them again. Somehow, this man from Texas got into the couple's car and drove away with the man chasing his now stolen vehicle, right? Well, then apparently this guy from Texas doesn't just take off. He puts the car in reverse and runs the man over twice with his own car then takes off out of the parking garage, crashes into some sort of barrier, and then gets out of the car and walks away. Granted, he was arrested a little bit later, but still.
Sure. Do we know the condition of the guy who got run over? Usually people don't do well when they're run over by cars twice. All right, we are done. We'll pick it up again at 8:30 when we do late edition. In the meantime, coming up, the Surfside collapse of the building, the ripple effect is going on throughout the country, and I'm going to point out a story out of San Francisco that is directly connected. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We'll help you figure it out. It's kind of what we do.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
He's been cleared. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A sergeant with the LAPD has been cleared of wrongdoing for passing around an offensive social media post showing a Valentine's Day card with George Floyd. A civilian rights panel found the officer not guilty, despite Chief Moore's recommendation the officer be fired. Moore said the post originated from outside of state and did not involve members of the department. The photo showed a picture of Floyd with the caption, "You take my breath away." Floyd died after a Minneapolis police officer pushed his knee onto Floyd's neck. A statewide Amber Alert for a man suspected of killing his girlfriend in Lake Elsinore and abducting their 2-year-old son has ended with the man's arrest in Las Vegas. Riverside County Sheriff's investigators allege Celestine Stute Jr. killed Natasha Barlow Monday and took the little boy. Stute and his son were found in Las Vegas yesterday afternoon. The boy was unharmed and has been reunited with his family. Police have arrested a serial groper who attacked some women in downtown Burbank.
Burbank Police Sergeant Emil Brimway says the first reported assault happened June 30th while a woman was walking her dog on East Providencia Avenue. The second attack happened July 3rd while a woman was standing on the sidewalk also on East Providencia. Then a few hours later,
at about 2:25 p.m., officers responded to the 800 block of 5th Street in regards to another sexual battery investigation. During this investigation, officers learned the suspect had groped a female victim while she was walking on the sidewalk.
Brimway says they booked a 28-year-old man for all 3 attacks and suspect he may be responsible for others. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
Some researchers at UCLA have found that humans caused climate change and have created more rain and snowstorms. Researcher Jesse Norris says stronger storms have already caused problems in California, such as the deadly debris flow in Montecito and the near failure of the Oroville Dam.
But if warming continues and increases to even greater rates, then we can expect to see moving forward precipitation intensifying to levels beyond what we're seeing globally at the moment.
Norris says researchers used machine learning to map out human fingerprints on 40 years of precipitation data. The research team published the findings in the journal Nature yesterday. Elsa is moving north along Florida's Gulf Coast. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm overnight. The Gulf Coast is being drenched with heavy rains and blasted with 70-mile-an-hour winds. People living near the shore say they're expecting a big storm surge.
They say it's going to be close to 30 foot, so do the best we can.
Elsa is now on track to make landfall just north of Tampa Bay. A Miami-Dade Fire Service official says 10 more bodies have been recovered from the collapsed condo building in South Florida. He says that brings to 46 now the number of bodies pulled from the rubble. He says just 32 of them have been identified. Gas prices are at near record levels in some parts of the country, including Southern California. In LA County, right now, regular unleaded costs $4.33 a gallon. AAA spokesman Doug Shoup says it's because a lot of people are going on trips.
Primary reason for that is the sheer demand for fuel, as more and more people felt comfortable to travel again.
He says the higher cost of oil is also adding to the increase in gas prices. And fans are getting duped and giving real money to a fake pop star.
Bad guy. Duh.
Fans of singer Billie Eilish are getting fooled by fake accounts on the TikTok app. 3 fake accounts created since late June have streamed old videos of the real Billie Eilish as if they were live. Tens of thousands of fans fooled by the old videos gave lots of tips or gifts to the accounts, which translates to money. Once the videos ended, they started over, which was when the fans felt stupid. Fake live streams on TikTok and other social media platforms have been growing. TikTok says to make sure the account is verified before giving it any gifts. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Let's check your crash on the 60.
Yeah, so working in Boyle Heights on the 60 West, just after Indiana Street. It's only 2 cars, and they're on the right shoulder. Some injuries involved, though, so fire department's on scene, and the volume now right around Downey Road. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Law with a stretch of the 210.
Yeah, more good for me, and it's really good. If you're coming out that new hall pass style, coming down the Elegant Church, towards the eastbound 210. No Caltrans work. That's the great news. There's a little bit of stuff going on the right shoulder and stuff, so just be careful going by. But speeds are great. They really are, all the way down to the Rose Bowl. That's where we kind of lose it due to the weather and stuff with rain layers just pouring in. Westbound side looking good. Even the 2 now, going out towards the 134, you'll see the low clouds I'm talking about as soon as you start going downhill. But things are pretty good here. Really, no problems. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Paul, KFI in the Sky.
In Irvine on the 5 South at Jamboree, there's somebody that broke down here. They're on the right shoulder of the off-ramp, just right there at the beginning, so you can see it from the freeway, slowing you down at the 55 as a result. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
The Dodgers-Miami Marlins game was sluggish until the 4th inning when Cody Bellinger made third base thanks to some bad fielding, and Will Smith made the most of that by plating Bellinger, and that was it for LA's offense. It took 10 innings to break a 1-1 tie, and it was Miami who did it, sending the Dodgers to a 2-1 defeat. That series continues today at 4:10. Hear it live on AM 570 LA Sports or in HD, the iHeart app. The Angels took a 3-1 lead over the Red Sox in the first thanks to this from catcher Max Stassi.
Payoff pitch home. And Max swings and sends a ball deep to left field. Verdugo takes a look and it's gone! Well, that'll give the chance to get off his feet for a little bit. And a home run, Max Stassi. That's a power swing.
Shohei Ohtani threw 7 good innings and supplied an RBI double to support a 5-3 Halo win. He also was named AL Player of the Week for the 4th time of his career. That series concludes at 1 o'clock today. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
Have you been denied a home loan or refinance because you're self-employed, earn 1099 income, or even a real estate investor? You're missing out. Most lenders make approval seem impossible, especially if you're self-employed. Stop watching everyone take advantage of the lowest mortgage rates in history while you're stuck on the sidelines. Accelerate Capital, the premier lender designed for the self-employed. Our approval process is based on common sense, using bank statements, 1099 income, profit loss statements, rental income, or even stated income to qualify at the lowest rates available. Fast. Conventional lenders cannot do this. When others say no, we say yes. Call 800-811-9702, 800-811-9702, or visit acceleratecapital.com.
EXCELE, acceleratecapital.com.
Equal housing lender. Call for details. NMLS ID number 1165716. Not all will qualify. California DFPI license number 41DBO 45150. Additional restrictions may apply. Loans made or arranged pursuant to the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act.
Hey, SoCal. Going out for a drink? I'm attorney Darren Kapinoki of 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Better have your seatbelts on, your front license plate attached, and your registration handy. Don't give them a reason. 1-800-NO-CUFFS. Because no one looks good in handcuffs. Unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUFFS.
It's getting hot out there.
SolarMax wants to work with you to create a system that fits your budget.
A package that includes a solar system and home battery backup for $69.98 a month and APR as low as 0.99%.
Offers good till July 31st. Go to SolarMaxTech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSLB number 97248.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is up 1, S&P gaining 4, NASDAQ up 12. Gold is $18.07 an ounce, and oil is $73.28 a barrel.
The KFI Money Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm, now offering virtual security consultations using your mobile phone. Visit bayalarm.com to get protected today.
Sunny today and warm. Highs will be in the upper 60s to mid-70s at the beaches, low to mid-80s for Metro LA and OC, mid-90s for the IE, and in the valley, some of them could see highs over 100. 65 right now in Orange, 64 in Lake Forest, 66 in Pasadena, 67 in Downey. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here. It is a Wednesday morning, July 7th, hump day, as we continue on with the show. Some of the big stories that we're covering, the heat wave is here, and we're going to be suffering more than a little bit over the next few days. We now have yet another number in the search for the victims of the collapse of the Miami area high-rise. What's the number now, Jennifer?
46.
46 have been recovered. Okay, and we're 14 days out. And I'm not hearing hope anymore. That word is not being used among the survivors and first responders or family members. I think, everybody sort of knew in their heart of hearts. But hope rings eternal, as they say, right? Talking about what happened in Florida, the issue about the efficacy of these buildings has reverberated across the country. And no more so than in San Francisco. And there is a building called the Millennium Tower, which is extraordinary. It's a 58-story building. It is a condo building, so it's all residential. It is just an extraordinary building, probably one of the best in the entire country. Still being promoted as your city within the city. There are 400 units in the building. I don't think any one of those units is less than $1 million. Not a unit. I don't think there is a closet in any of these in this condo. But here is the problem. Since it opened, the tower has sunk 18 inches into the soft soil in which it was built, and it's actually tilting. It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa, San Francisco style. And that's according to the Millennium's current engineer, the interestingly named Ronald Hamburger. You think his middle name would be McDonald, wouldn't you? Go figure.
You're not joking?
No, his name is really Ronald Hamburger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Why not? And already questions are being raised about the Bay Area tower structural integrity. Now, to have a building sink 18 inches and start to tilt, that's kind of bizarre. Now, is that a huge issue in terms of the integrity of the building? Probably not, because these buildings are built to extraordinary strengths because of earthquake, and San Francisco being one, of course, the earthquake centers of the world. But the way they get around that is to put pilings in so deep that it really doesn't matter. And I don't know how this was built or how it wasn't being built, but questions are being asked all over the country. Incidentally, if this thing keeps on tilting, then your condo that you spent $3, $4, $8 million for sort of becomes worthless. How much is the condo worth in the south building of the Champlain Towers in Surfside? Probably not a lot. And what's happening is, as you would imagine, people are now holding off. I mean, waterfront property in the Champlain Towers were on the water. I mean, those condos faced the water. And that is the best of the best in terms of view. And of course, that's all gone. And so you have buildings all over the country. But here's what it's going to boil down to. It's going to boil down to maintenance. I'm convinced of that. I don't think there's going to be substandard building materials or substandard design or substandard building itself. I think it's going to be all about maintenance. That's my take on it. There are the photos of the open cracks. And man, we're not talking about cracks. We're talking about 6-inch crevices that have opened up where you can actually see the rebar. And they weren't replaced. And they weren't repaired 3 years after the report came out. And that's what's going to happen. You know, just to give you an idea, the building right next door to the Champlain South Tower is a North Tower, which was built 1 year later, which shows absolutely no problem whatsoever. As you can imagine, the engineers and the authorities came down really hard on that north tower almost immediately. No problem. And the head of the homeowner association, where he no longer is, he's been on the board for 20 years, said all we did